Gymshark has come a long way since its founder, Ben.
The juggernaut that is Gymshark.
As a creative director, I often get the question, what is it that a creative director does? And I often answer in very similar ways. It is about the idea of taste. Now, when I talk about taste, it doesn't mean food taste or some sort of higher sense for creative ideas. Rather, it means picking an idea and being able to stand by that vision in a product or content piece or marketing campaign and whatever it may be. And in this video, I want to talk about the exact and extreme calculated steps that Gymshark took to bring back their sense of taste within the company, within their products, and within their partners. In recent years, Gymshark has been a shadow of its former self, losing market share to companies such as Young LA, which are young, upstart companies. The reason for this loss of market share is twofold. Gymshark became a giant and outsourced a lot of their creative decisions to executives that weren't as connected to the space as the athletes that used to be at the front and driving center of the company. Now, the positive sentiment has left Gymshark and has sort of been reeling. Product sales have been going up, profits have been down, and they're in a strange position with, again, sentiment going more in the negative direction than in the positive. The one constant for Gymshark that was always a positive is athletes used to be proud of becoming Gymshark athletes. And with time, that just fell out of trend, and other companies picked up on the strategy of signing athletes, specifically those that belong to Gymshark, for the hype and the audience they've already developed, but sending those customer bases to the other companies. So after Ben Francis, founder of Gymshark, came back into the role of the CEO, it was time for war. Gymshark continued growing in mainstream markets, but profits were taking a decline. So Ben had to decide how to turn the ship around. Or should I say, how to turn the shark around. This is where Gymshark burned their ships and restarted the bodybuilding arc. There are few giants that can admit that they've lost the plot and take steps to reclaim their throne. So when Gymshark announced that David Lade would be stepping in and becoming their creative director of bodybuilding and lifting, I and others were pleasantly surprised. If you followed David for a while, you might know about his viral transformation videos in his bodybuilding arc, but now he's at a new stage. With his rare YouTube videos, he commits to excellence in terms of cinematics and the vision he brings to those videos. If you call back to the start of the video, you can now understand what I mean by taste. David is not afraid to show his sense of taste and what his vision requires in terms of budget, quality, story, and of course, the narrative. Lastly, he's not afraid to show his passion, and in my eyes, that's all that there needs to be for him to be the perfect man for the job. David has grown. He simply is not just a bodybuilding prodigy anymore. He has his own aesthetic and he has his own hobbies. But at the same time, he never lost what he started from. He never lost the roots of the bodybuilding era and of the fitness arc. And if you weren't convinced yet, Gymshark has a new part owner. Chris Bumstead, recently crowned 6-time Mr. Olympia and superstar of YouTube. Chris is the face of bodybuilding, not just on YouTube. And although he has recently announced his retirement, his brand is here to stay. With a massive YouTube audience and a following based on his successful ventures, but also his bodybuilding career, Chris is the perfect magnet for customers, audiences, and fans. Chris is not just an idol for bodybuilders like myself, but he is an idol for content creators, aspiring entrepreneurs. I mean, everything he puts his hands on turns into gold.
Daddy's home.
And as usual, with all odds against him, with his autoimmune issues, Chris dominated bodybuilding, and then he took on YouTube and committed to that. And with insane consistency within his routine and his posting, he won out on YouTube as well. He used everything to his advantage, his trademark lisp, his autoimmune disease, as much as you can call it an advantage in this case, with great inspiration and with motivation to everyone that watches him. He's just a source of pure wisdom, very careful, very calculated wisdom. So either Gymshark is extremely calculated after Ben Francis returned to his role as CEO, or extremely lucky to get both David and Chris back at nearly the same time. Obviously, we never know how that came about, but we can assume that Gymshark initiated that happening. It was kind of funny. I saw comments under Chris's post of the ownership coming to life and happening, and people were congratulating Chris, but I thought it was Gymshark that caught the lucky charm. I don't want to overlook other athletes or creators or executives in Gymshark, but I am simply pointing out what is obvious to me as a fitness and previous consumer of Gymshark products. However, even with the rekindled spirit behind GS, I think it is important that they capitalize on the attention and the pillars they've built off the back of these two giants. From behind the scenes and the standpoint of myself being a creative director and understanding that they have a ton of control over their content, I'd love to see more content specifically focused and directed to business decisions that Gymshark is making to serve their bodybuilding audience. Not only seeing the content and the commercials and the great videos that come out of that production team, but rather what is the thought about it? How are they marketing to us, the audience? And yeah, what is the creative pitch? I think that will really be interesting paired alongside analysis from channels like myself and others of them going up against these other companies like Young LA, who have really come to market with this free form, free spirit style of marketing where every pitch and campaign is something very enthusiastic and almost like a meme to the bodybuilding community. It's a callback to their exact consumers, and not only are they giving products to consumers that the audience wants, but rather they're serving them the content behind it as well. And whether it's in documentary form or just consistent YouTube videos, we for sure know that paired with the creators they have, they can make some pretty kick-ass content that is behind the scenes, especially with a new part owner, with a new creative director, and with Ben Francis stepping back into the role. Now, Ben Francis does put out content on YouTube pretty regularly, but it is not even close to what the behind the scenes content could look like. They can definitely ramp it up more in terms of quality, quantity, and emotion. At the end of the day, most products are very similar. It is about the legacy and the prestige of owning a certain product. In this last segment, I want to point out that it is important for a sportswear brand to focus not on being a top 5 or top 3 or even top 2 brand. What I mean by that is that, yes, I guess you can make sales by being your customer's second favorite brand. But now we're coming into an era where very rarely are people mixing and matching different brands. So for example, if you have a 247 or a Puma or a Nike top, you're most likely not putting on Adidas shorts. Hopefully that example makes sense. And again, I think it's with the evolution of people's fashion choices and also availability of different brands in different unique styles, people are putting together usually what they like from their most favorite brand, specifically in sports. And I may just be in an echo chamber, and it would be silly not to point out that utter domination that Gymshark has in terms of female products in the industry, but the incentive and the energy has definitely also been lost with the running crowd. Compare that to Represent's 247 line or even UVU Club, and Gymshark is very far behind. If they continue losing to smaller companies that are just coming up within different regions, then where are they going to be in 5 or even 10 years? We are in an attention economy, and no matter how big you have grown, if someone is taking attention away from you now, then they're just going to grow and keep using that to their advantage in the future. So, will these new additions bring back Gymshark to its former glory, or have they completely lost the plot? Let me know in the comments down below if you're a fan of Gymshark or other brands, and appreciate you always liking and subscribing. Peace out. So that wrapped up the shooting for the Gymshark video. We're trying a little bit something different with the team in terms of getting new locations, sounds, feel, and vibes into the videos. So today I'm out here in the rain. Not actually, I got a roof over my head, but you'll hear the rain in the background. And hopefully that sets a little bit of a mood and vibe and the aesthetic that we were talking about for Gymshark and obviously David Lade. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. Click the subscribe button. Do leave a comment if you did, and I'll catch you in the next one. This might be my favorite video we've made yet, and the circumstance I'm shooting it in is one to match the mood of this video.